Let's talk about why you're bonding to chaos, inconsistency, and emotional crumbs, even though you know better. You don't stay because you're weak. You stay because your nervous system has equated pain with connection. Until you understand that, you will keep calling trauma chemistry. You'll keep mistaking intensity for intimacy. You will keep wondering why the strongest, smartest, most capable version of you collapses when you come around one person that doesn't even meet your standards on paper. If you're a high achieving woman who is tired of being the strong one for everyone, but somehow you're emotionally hooked to the very person that's draining you, this video is for you. If you stay with me until the end, I'm going to give you the emotional reset you need before 2026, plus a way to work with me off of YouTube so that you don't keep trying to heal trauma bonds with random free clips. If this already feels too accurate, hit the subscribe button so you don't lose this space. This channel is for women who are done confusing pain with passion. Before we dive in, I'm going to mention the clarity reset at the end because I am genuinely proud of it. It's the missing piece for so many women that watch videos like this and are actually ready to change, not just consume more content. Today, we're talking about why trauma bonds feel like love and how to break this emotional connection so that you can feel safe again, especially if you're the top performer who holds it together for everyone else. If you want more content like this, tap the subscribe button, hit the like button so that YouTube pushes out more content that speaks to the woman you are becoming. You know, I have to start off with talking about what a trauma bond really is because social media. Trauma bond, this is a buzz phrase that has been going around, and most people are using it incorrectly. I've talked about this before, okay? Most people are like, oh, trauma bond. I got a trauma bond. They got a trauma bond. Girl, you know this isn't a trauma bond. And what they're talking about is two people who have been traumatized by others, not the two that are in the relationship, friendship, whatever. But they keep calling it a trauma bond. That is not trauma bond. That's not a trauma bond. If two people are together, friendship, relationship, whatever, just because they were traumatized outside of you does not mean you all are trauma bonded. This is not correct. Please stop saying it. Please stop using phrases if you don't understand what they mean. Don't just jump on the bandwagon with somebody else, okay? A trauma bond forms when two parts of you get tangled, your attachment system and your survival system. Instead of bonding through safety, your body starts bonding through fear, relief, intensity, and emotional inconsistency. Let me give you an example. Let's say we have two people. Throw out some names. Give me two names. I know this is pre-recorded. Give me two names, okay? Alice and what's let's name a guy. Bob. Here they go. A, B, C, we belong together. Nah. All right, Alice and Bob. Now, Bob is abusive to Alice, but for some reason, Alice always goes back. He just keeps her in this toxic cycle, and she just can't leave this man alone. She makes all kind of excuses for him. It's a hot mess, but she won't leave him. She will not leave. That is a trauma bond. Flip it. Alice may be the one abusing Bob. Same thing. He can't leave. Yeah, like she's the only one out here. Honey, it's a lot of fish in the sea. Do you hear me? But for whatever reason, trauma bond, he cannot leave his abuser. His abuser. This is a trauma bond. Sometimes they're abusing one another and can't leave each other alone. Trauma bond. If you are a Gen Zer, you'll understand this next statement. E. Kane and Chris, perfect example of a real trauma bond. Blink, blink, blink. No shade to E. Kane. She's beautiful. Love her, but the stuff she deals with. And they do it to one another. Perfect example of what a real trauma bond is, okay? Let's say E. Kane and Chris break up, all right? Let's say they break up. E. Kane ends up in a relationship with another man who was hurt by, it could have been his mama, his daddy, his ex, whatever. But he treats E. Kane like a queen. E. Kane, we know her situation, those that follow her. She gets with this man. We know what she's dealing with, right? But when she gets with this man, she's acting right. They're all lovey-dovey. They have a healthy relationship, not perfect, but healthy, all of that. They have not formed a trauma bond because they both went through trauma. Does that make sense? They did not traumatize one another. They are just two people who just so happened to get together, who went through pure hell in their past relationships or whatever. Do you all see the difference? For millennials, some of you may know Peach McIntyre and her husband. Perfect example as a trauma bond. No shade to Peach. Peach has said before that she married her mother. And if you know the relationship she had with her mother, it makes sense. But again, this is a perfect example. And she did say her husband is doing better. Again, no shade. Just in case somebody want to take these clips and send it to EK, Chris, and Peaches, no shade, all right? But these are, I want you all to see what an actual trauma bond is, because so many people around the internet are using this term incorrectly. If you meet a friend, it can be a friend, it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. You end up meeting someone, y'all form a friendship, both of y'all have been through hell and high water, a lot of your story may be the same. That does not mean you formed a trauma bond, okay? With trauma bonds, your nervous system normally learns consistency through inconsistency. So your body turns around and becomes addicted to highs and lows. The cortisol, the adrenaline, the emotional roller coaster. You all know I mentioned in a live, I don't know, some recent live I did about another pretty well known. She's almost at 1 million followers. So on TikTok, who she said she's not in a relationship with this man, but she was like, y'all, I'm bored. I need to pick a fight. I need to go pick a fight with him. He's too calm for me. Your body becomes addicted to the highs and the lows. So your relationship starts feeling like your childhood emotional blueprint. The unpredictability becomes normal. Renisha, you don't always want a relationship that's predictable. I understand there's nothing wrong with being unpredictable, as in, girl, pack your bags. I'm coming to get you. We're going on vacation this weekend or whatever. That's not the same thing. I'm talking about the unpredictability where you don't know if you're going to get your head bust. Okay. I don't want to get banned, so let me not say it like that. Y'all know exactly what I mean. Unpredictability becomes normal. You don't know how he's going to treat you. You don't know if he's going to be cold or hot this day. You're afraid to say anything to him. And I'm saying him because I'm a female. Please understand, women, sometimes it's flipped. Sometimes the man is dealing with someone abusive, and you can trauma bond to someone other than people you are in a relationship with. Okay? Let me make that clear. Some people, they have trauma bonds when it comes to their abusive parents. It could be siblings, people in church. You can trauma bond to people outside of your romantic partners. Okay? This normal, inconsistent, unpredictable behavior starts feeling safe to you, even when it's harmful. This is why you can feel deeply attached to someone who is emotionally unavailable or absolutely chaotic. This is not love. It's your nervous system trying to recreate familiarity. Remember, your body confuses familiarity with safety, even when the familiarity is toxic. This is why a lot of women and men stay in the same patterns. You don't break a trauma bond by watching videos or memorizing red flags. You break it by resetting your nervous system and teaching your body what safety, calm, and emotional neutrality actually feel like. That's literally why I built the Clarity Reset the way I did. Short, grounded, daily practices that walk your system out of survival mode gently without overwhelming you. I spent a little more time than I wanted to explaining what a trauma bond is, but so many people use this term incorrectly, and you can't get free from something when you don't even know what it is. Okay, now let's talk about why high achieving women are prone to trauma bonds. You don't fall for toxic patterns because you're not desperate or naive. You fall because you are wired a certain way emotionally. Here's what I mean. High achieving women over function in relationships. You show up, you fix, you stabilize, and then you turn around and call it love. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that love must be earned, not received. Childhood emotional labor becomes adult emotional labor. You were the responsible one, the strong one, the caretaker, long before you were able to choose it. Baby girl, intensity feels like connection to you because that's how your nervous system learned to bond. When someone is inconsistent, you don't reject it. You personalize it. You think, if I just love harder, they'll be more consistent. You've romanticized potential because your whole life you were rewarded for seeing what could be, not what is. Your worth became tied to performance, not your presence. Y'all, my phone is about to go dead, and I really don't want to have to stop because I'm trying to use sunlight. I like natural sunlight. Let me see how much more I can get recorded before I pause. Okay, like I was saying, your worth became tied to performance, not presence. This is why love feels like work to you. It's also why peace feels boring. This is why the bare minimum still feels like something you need to prove yourself for. You don't attract toxic men. You overstay in emotional systems your nervous system recognizes. Let me free you up real quick. You're not broken. Nobody taught your nervous system what safe, regulated connection actually feels like. But it's okay because this is something you can learn. This is a repetition that I've built inside the Clarity Reset. Gentle daily practices that teach your body to experience calm as normal instead of mistaking chaos for home. All right, so let's pause for a minute. I know that was a lot. Let's do some breathing. Just 5 seconds. Well, it's going to be more than 5 seconds. Inhale through your nose, 4 counts. Hold for 2 counts. Exhale through your mouth for 6 counts. All right. You can't heal a trauma bond from a dysregulated state. So I want you to inhale, hold it, exhale. Let your shoulders soften, unclench your jaw, relax, relax, relax. I may have triggered some of you already. Let your body know you're safe. Let's take another deep breath. Now, do you notice that? Just a few seconds of intention shifts your internal volume. Just that quick. I promise you, your body responds quickly when you give it permission to calm down. Inside the Clarity Reset, we stack moments like this for 7 days straight. Gentle grounding practices that teach your nervous system to trust regulation instead of chasing chaos. Now, I'm going to have to pause right here, charge at my phone for a bit, and I'll be back just in case the lighting looks a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to talk signs, real signs. I'm going to give you 5 that show you are trauma bonded. And these are not going to be trendy signs, they're psychological ones. So here's what a trauma bond actually looks like. Number 1, you feel anxious the moment they pull away. Tell me I'm lying. Your body goes into panic, and it's not because of love, it's because of the inconsistency that feels dangerous. Here's number 2, and this is a big one. You confuse crumbs with effort. Remember, I talked recently about breadcrumbing, men who breadcrumb, women do it too. Men, please don't be offended. This is not a male bashing channel, okay? But these crumbs, the smallest gesture feels huge because you are starving emotionally. Crumbs. Number 3, you stay for the potential. Okay. How many? Raise your hand. How many of you, all of us, have done this? We stayed with men because of their potential. And don't be prophetic. My God, I see so much. There's so much in your future. I just know he's going to change. You fall in love with who they could be and not who they consistently choose to be. He's showing you, she's showing you just who they are. Sign number 4, like I said earlier, you're addicted to the highs and the lows, the tension, the makeup moments, the relief. It becomes a cycle that your body craves. Some people love to start arguments just for makeup sex. Why can't you just have good sex? Why do you have to cause a whole argument just so you can make up? Trauma. Sign number 5, you shrink yourself to keep the peace. Are you not tired? You have got to be miserable. You tiptoe, you overthink, and you silence your needs just to avoid conflict. You are living in an internal prison. So I said I was going to give you 5. Here's 2 more as a bonus. You're welcome. Sign number 6, you feel unable to leave even though you're unhappy. Sit in that. Your mind knows it's wrong, but your body is tied to the pattern, and he or she is loving that. You're right where they want you to be. Sign number 7, chaos feels like home. Stillness feels uncomfortable. Peace feels foreign. Oh, but drama? That's familiar. It is not love. It's your nervous system reenacting unfinished emotional business. If you checked at least 3 of these, you don't need another talking video. You need a safe container to detox emotionally so your body stops mistaking anxiety for attachment. That's the work we do inside the Clarity Reset, rewiring the internal patterns, not just naming them. Let's talk about what actually breaks the trauma bond. Not the cute advice online, not just the girl block cam comments, the real psychology behind it. I hope you're taking notes. Here's what breaking a trauma bond really involves. You have to regulate your nervous system. You may be tired of hearing me say that. Hashtag I don't care. You have to regulate your nervous system. Your body can't detach from someone it thinks it needs for survival. Does that make sense? You also have to feel safe in your own body. A dysregulated body is always going to reach for the familiar no matter how bad it hurts. Number three, you have to detach your identity from the bond. You are not their fixer, their emotional anchor, or their proof of worth. Detach. Number four, I think we're on four. You have to stop bonding through wounds. Shared trauma is not compatibility, it's survival mode linking up with survival mode. Number five, please stop romanticizing intensity. The butterflies, that was anxiety. The passion, chaos. The chemistry was a trigger, boo. Number six, you have to rebuild emotional neutrality. Your next relationship cannot feel like a roller coaster. It has to feel like rest. Number seven, I think we're on number seven. You have to redefine what love feels like. Love should land in your body as safety, not adrenaline. Some of you are in the most toxic, abusive, even if it's not physical abuse. You are in some of the most toxic, abusive relationships, and you are making every single excuse as to why you cannot leave. This is not real love. Well, no relationship is perfect, Renisha. You are absolutely correct. And even in the imperfect ones, they don't feel like this. I want you to hear me clearly. I'm not giving the full method here because healing a trauma bond isn't intellectual. It's somatic. You cannot think your way out of a pattern your nervous system is still hosting. That's why I created a 7-day structure inside the Clarity Reset. Gentle, grounded, emotional practices that guide your nervous system step by step instead of white knuckling it between videos, just hoping the pattern magically breaks somehow. All right, we made it to the end of this video. Let's see. Okay, we made it to the end. You know, I have some affirmations for you. Why? Because the power of life and death is in your tongue. Take a deep breath, and then when we start the affirmations, you're going to repeat after me. But after every affirmation, I also want you to breathe. Take a breath, then do the next one. Let these affirmations settle in your body, not just your mind. If you want, you can put your hand over your heart. Repeat after me. I break emotional patterns that break me. I choose the love my nervous system rests in. I am safe inside myself. I don't chase intensity. I attract peace. My next season requires emotional clarity. Good job. If your body exhaled while hearing these, that was not an accident. That's your nervous system telling you it's ready for a new baseline. Not chaos, not survival, not emotional chasing, but real peace. Before we wrap up, is it okay if I share something with you? I'm gonna just pretend like y'all live. Clarity Reset is my 7-day emotional regulation program for women who are ready to break trauma patterns for good, not just understand them. If everything I said today resonated, this is your next step. This is where the emotional detox happens. This is where your nervous system learns what peace feels like in real life. And because we're ending 2025, this is the perfect way to reset emotionally so that you don't drag all of this emotional chaos and weight, emotional baggage into 2026. Start now so January you isn't cleaning up December decisions. You deserve a love your body doesn't have to survive. If that's the woman you're becoming, tap that link in the description and start your clarity reset. Also, don't forget to subscribe so that your nervous system always has a safe corner of YouTube to return to.